Hello, juniors. This is Mr. Costa. I am recording another slideshow for you guys. Um, so we're going to talk about post-World War One Europe and the Treaty of Versailles and how the Treaty of Versailles affected everything. So, so first thing you guys need to know is that Woodrow Wilson, and I'm going to give you a worksheet with this, had issued what was known as Wilson's 14 points, which highly influenced this treaty, which was really five treaties. And however, the United States never signs this treaty. But it's really important to U.S. history, to world history, to European history. So we will go through it. Uh, First things first, does the Treaty of Versailles affect the future? Okay. So part one is the treaty, okay? And this is a long treaty, as the notes say. So it was five separate treaties. Um, One of the things Wilson came in and he wanted peace without victors. Okay, he was like, what that means is he wanted to achieve a treaty which wasn't punishing anyone. It was a complete joke because once you see the end of this treaty, it was um, really punishing Germany very badly. Um, Two of the powers were completely left out of this treaty. Germany and the Soviet Union. They were not even invited to even discuss the treaty. Um, Germany, because they were the number one losers, and the USSR or Soviet Union was left out because they dropped out of the war with the Treaty of Brest-Litovsk and had surrendered to the Germans. So, and also they're communists, and all the countries just didn't like communism. Um, States in the Balkans would be allowed to vote on what type of government they wanted. Uh, but it was broken at times for various reasons. This was called self-determination principle. It was one of the Wilson's 14 points. There was a League of Nations added to it, but the League of Nations was kind of weak. Colonies would become independent, and there would be provisions for disarmament too. Both of these are jokes because there's no way to enforce these rules. Okay, other provisions. Germany, France wanted the Rhineland as a buffer state. I'll show you where the. So if you look at this slide right here, you can see the Rhineland is right. The Rhine River is on the left side of Germany, and the Rhineland is kind of. You can see the Rhine River, and everything to the left or west of the Rhine River is known as the Rhineland. And England and the United States refuse that. They say the Rhineland can become demilitarized, meaning no armies can be in the Rhineland. France does receive Alsace and Lorraine, and I'll flip to that slide. If you see the black area on the left side of Germany, that is Alsace and Lorraine. They were mineral-rich areas. They also could work the coal mines in the Saar for 15 years. So the Saar Basin, you can see that is the lower left-hand side of Germany, and that's the Saar Basin. They were allowed to mine coal there. The German army had to be reduced to 100,000 men. The Navy could only do coastal defenses, and they had to get rid of tanks, warplanes, submarines, gas, heavy artillery, pretty much anything that was kind of dominant in Germany and their military. Okay, so here's pictures of Germany. I'm going to continue, and I'll refer back to this map. Germany and the East. Germany lost Silesia to Poland to give Poland access to the sea. Silesia, you can see, is that black area on the right side of Germany or the east side of Germany. Eastern Prussia was cut off from the rest of Germany. You can see it up there. It's way at the top where it says 1919. German-speaking people in Austria were cut off from Germany and not allowed to join with Germany. And the Germans in the Sudetenland became part of Czechoslovakia. The Sudeten, if you look at the So the Sudetenland or Czechoslovakia, you can see, is in the southern part, right by where Dresden is. That all becomes part of Czechoslovakia, but was German speaking. So there's more. Will this treaty ever end, Mr. Costa? This is proof that I made these notes. Um, so the Czechs of Bohemia and Moravia were joined with the Slovaks and Ruthenians to form what was Czechoslovakia. That is no longer a country; it's the Czech Republic, and I think Moravia is its own country. Um, the southern Slavs, Croats, Slovenes, and Serbs form Yugoslavia. Now it's Serbia, Slovenia, and Croatia. Italy gains Trentino and Trieste. They were Trentino and Trieste were Austrian possessions before that. Romania gained Transylvania and Basbaria. Transylvania was Hungarian. Basbaria was Russian before the war. Bulgaria lost land to Greece, Romania, and Yugoslavia because if you guys didn't know this, but Bulgaria fought with the Germans. Russia lost Finland, Estonia, Latvia, and Lithuania, and they all became independent states. And Russia lost land in Poland. So here is the map. You can see on the left-hand side before World War I, it was just a bunch of giant countries, and then it gets broken up on the right to a lot of tiny little countries, and it's broken up even more at this point in time currently. Last slide on the Treaty of Versailles, and this is really the last slide we're gonna, because the results are really more Eurocentric in this slide show, but reparations, no sum was fixed at the conference. They said, we'll tell you later. It's kind of like when your parents tell you you're grounded, we'll tell you for how long later. The final sum was decided later on, was that they would pay $5 billion every year until 1921. The final bill given to Germany would be given to Germany in 30 years to pay. So they basically they would pay $5 billion a year till 1921, and then finally in 1921 they were supposed to be given a final bill. And the war guilt clause, Germany had to be blamed for the war, and Germany either had to sign the treaty or start going to war with the Allies again. And so there's a little quote here. This is the author of the modern European history textbook that my seniors use. And he says, the tragedy of Versailles was it was neither conciliatory enough to remove the desire for change, nor harsh enough to make another war impossible. Meaning it wasn't like nice enough to get Germany to change their ways. It was also not so devastating that Germany would never come back. And that is the end. Short notes. And there is also, if you're watching this, you'll know that there is a worksheet on the Google page, and you are to move on and do that right now.